Alright, welcome to what we learned in Picks and Bans, H2k versus UOL Game 1. So we're just jumping right into this. Damage versus effective HP. Do both team comps have enough damage to kill the other one before they're dead? And both team comps are pretty good. We got a dual threat coming out of Unicorns of Love with Syndra Corki. They do enough damage. Nautilus, Rek'Sai, and Morgana will help a little bit, but they're not the carries. Then H2k has a triple threat comp, while not as much tank coming out from them. They have more damage, so it's pretty neutral. And most comps are going to be neutral between damage and effective HP. So pressure versus engage. This is gonna be an interesting one. So Tristana is definitely gonna have more pressure than Corki Syndra, but Nautilus, Morgana, Rek'Sai, and even Syndra herself can set up for some nice engages, particularly Nautilus. So, but the Tristana pressure, they can only really engage on one target, and then it's gonna leave two others to kind of deal damage to them. So that might be an issue. So we're giving like H2k a slight edge here. H2k slight edge in that regard, mainly because they have the pressure. Carry versus control. So can they control the carries? H2k, it looks like they can. Lee Sin should just be able to knock out Syndra or Corki if any of them becomes threatening. And Thresh, he's always good peel. That's not that big of a deal. Ahri has a charm. Tristana has a knockback too. But Tristana can jump away and rumble, so they have enough control to deal with the carries on the other side. And it's pretty much the same situation with UOL too. Their control is pretty effective. Nautilus can ult Ahri if she ever kind of comes in. Rek'Sai can deal with somebody, and Morgana, she can shield all the magic damage that's coming out. So yeah, we're not really going to be talking too much about carry and control. Most comps will have good carry and control and good damage versus effective HP. That's just almost given based upon how champions are designed almost. So pick poke versus sustain. Neither team really has sustain, but at the same time neither team really has poke. Corki and Syndra kind of do. They have the Morgana shield, whereas there's just the Ahri poke. So both teams have kind of a poke advantage, but there's no sustain, so it's not really gonna matter unless one team can't dodge poke. So again, there's no advantages coming out of there. Pick versus disengage. The Lee Sin, I really like the Lee Sin for a disengage, whereas UOL doesn't necessarily have any disengage, but they definitely have CC. But that really won't help too much if Ahri gets a charm or a Thresh hook. So you got Thresh hook, Ahri charm versus Syndra stun and Nautilus all together. Neither team has disengage. Now I'm gonna list this poke and list this as pick, but it's not there. Burst versus healing. So Unicorns of Love definitely have a lot of burst with Syndra especially, but the healing from H2k or shielding, it's really not there, so they're susceptible to the burst. But on the other side of the, actually no, this is UOL. Even though Morgana really isn't that strong, it is the shield. It probably will help. So both teams are pretty close. If we had to weigh things, The burst versus healing advantage that UOL has is really small because it's just the support shield, which I mean H2k basically has the same thing, so it's not even really a thing. It's mainly burst. So both comps can do everything here, and they're really bad at stopping anything from happening. I feel like it should be bloody because of that, and because everything's so equal, and there's so much CC and control coming out. There's good damages from either side. I feel like H2k is just gonna kind of win it once Tristana gets going. I think H2k has a better split if they want to split push, but I don't know. This is so strange, these picks. But basically the pressure versus engage advantage. Tristana puts a lot of pressure once she scales up, so we're going to be giving H2k points for that. And because pressure versus engage is like the most important thing, and while H2k has forms of engage, they've really lost the pressure battle. They're really going to lose the pressure battle, and that's going to kind of decide things. But everything's so close, and no one has any defense against any of these other important things that team comp should have defenses against. So I feel like I want to say like 50%, but Tristana is going to make it more on H2K's side. So I'm going 60% H2K.